All right. Andre Ward making comments about Sergey Kovalev and Canelo Alvarez, said Kovalev was just a couple punches away from retirement. But still, it ain't a given for Canelo Alvarez. Let's talk about that fight, like about what Andre Ward has to say and that fight in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. Also, I want to say thank you so much to the two channels that really support, two communities that really support the channel, the live stream community, the people that come every Monday through Friday right after Trill Boxing Talk to talk boxing with me in our live streams, who support in the super chat, support in the Cash App. Thank you guys so much. And also my Patreon community. I got another video coming up today. We're doing daily uploads over there on the Patreon channel for you guys. So over the week, you're gonna get a good amount of extra content over there. If you are a Patreon, please make sure that you listen to the video and you also make a comment so we can interact and follow up on those subjects. But let's get into this fight that I did not want to see made. I think is just it's one of these fights. This is the Canelo Alvarez Sergey Kovalev fight that we're talking about. This is one of these mega fights that nobody asked for. This is a mega fight that nobody asked for, nobody thought about, nobody cared about, doesn't serve any damn purpose whatsoever other than to have Canelo Alvarez duck up out of doing what he should be doing down there at 160 pounds and is giving a blatant public maniac in Kovalev more money to be a maniac with. That's what I think it is fight. Now I'm going to get into what Andre Ward said, but that essentially is what I think it is fight. In one hand, allows franchise champion Canelo Alvarez not to fight his mandatories and not to get some type of closure at the weight class that he belongs in, and to move up and fight for a designation that means nothing, because there's three, the WBO 175-pound championship, because there's already three other guys up there that he more than likely is not going to fight. But it gives a payday to a absolute savage, a racist savage in Sergey Kovalev, who, in my opinion, should be the headline of any conversation about Sergey Kovalev. Should lead with the things that he said and he's done in his past, because he is without a doubt in boxing right now the biggest scumbag in boxing. And you'll hear the stuff about Marcus Brown's incidents at 175, and Marcus Brown's not even a champion. And Marcus Brown ain't done nothing that he has not done anything that Sergey Kovalev hasn't done twice, and has not done many things that Kovalev has done at least once. But that doesn't stop people from propping up Sergey Kovalev. Anyway, Kovalev's a scumbag, but here we got this mega fight that nobody asked for. Andre Ward was asked about this fight, and then once again, it was a videographer's channel. It was the same interview from about 3-4 different people that put it up on their pages from different angles. So shout out to all the videographers that all took the same interview. Andre Ward said that, man, Kovalev is basically done. He's like, look, man, I'm not hating, but Sergey Kovalev is basically done. Sergey Kovalev said that he was going to retire if he got knocked out by Anthony Yarde. So if you watch the Anthony Yarde fight, in that one particular round, I can't remember the name of the round, he was almost knocked out. He was maybe 1 or 2 punches away from getting knocked out. So in the eyes of Andre Ward, that means Sergey Kovalev is only 1 or 2 punches away from retirement. Now, Sergey Kovalev is already worn goods, for sure. Already been exposed. That's why I'm saying this fight it doesn't mean anything to me. If Sergey Kovalev beats Andre Ward, if Sergey Kovalev beats Canelo Alvarez, all he did is beat some guy that shouldn't be fighting at 175 pounds. Because if Canelo can't beat Sergey Kovalev with the skill set that Canelo Alvarez has, then Canelo Alvarez shouldn't be at 175 pounds, and people are going to make an excuse for him. He's going to go back down to 168, get a rematch with Rocky Fielding. DAZN's going to keep paying him money. Hey, man, the beat goes on. right? The beat goes on. Sergey Kovalev, if he beats Canelo Alvarez, he's going to get a big payday, but he beat a guy that moved up from 168. He moved up from, 160 pounds. So whoop-de-doo, right? I don't get why people would say that this is a mega fight or why anybody would really even be interested in this fight. If Canelo Alvarez beats Sergey Kovalev, so what? Sergey Kovalev has already been knocked out by guys moving up in weight class. He's already been knocked out by a guy that fought at 168 pounds. And Andre Ward. Andre Ward beat him once, moving up from 168 pounds, beat him and knocked him out, beat him up and knocked him out, coming up from 168 pounds. Alvarez, who's a good fighter, I think it's Eliander Alvarez. Please excuse me for, doing a bad pronunciation on his first name, but he knocked out Sergey Kovalev. Then you have Anthony Yard, who has never fought anybody at that level. He's a strong guy, but he's not the skill level. He's not of the skill level and experience level of a Canelo Alvarez. And he almost knocked out and hurt Sergey Kovalev. Come on, man. We know what this is. Either way this goes, this fight doesn't do anything but what I said at the beginning. It falsely inflates the accomplishments of Canelo Alvarez and allows him to gain accolades while at the same time not taking care of business against the guys that are his legitimate competition in his legitimate weight class, that being the Demetrius Andrade, Jermall Charlo. And on the case of Sergey Kovalev, it allows him for sure to get a very, very big day to continue to support his habits of alcohol-induced savagery that he's putting out there on the streets. Absolutely, man. I'm not a fan of this fight at all. As far as what I think is going to happen in this fight, I think Canelo Alvarez is going to win this fight because what I see in Sergey Kovalev is a slightly less skilled, taller, more worn out Gennady Golovkin. That's what I see. I see it being Sergey Kovalev basically being a slightly less skilled, less able to take punishment, more worn out version of Gennady Golovkin. We've already seen this fight, and we've seen Canelo Alvarez do two type of things to this same type of fighter. You saw in the first fight, you saw Canelo Alvarez against the ropes, slipping a lot of shots, making Gennady Golovkin miss. And I think Gennady Golovkin actually has slightly faster hand speed than Kovalev does. And he definitely has longer, at the time of that fight, he also had greater endurance, and he carried his power and he carried his strength later on into the fight. But you saw in that first fight him being able to slip and move and get out of the way of Gennady Golovkin. In the second fight, you saw him just go right to him. Go right to Gennady Golovkin. Still made Gennady Golovkin right in the pocket miss shots. Because Canelo Alvarez, in my opinion, Sergey Kovalev is a jab, straight right hand type of fighter. He'll throw some body shots in here, but for the most part, he's jab, right hand, jab. He's a 1-2 basic straight up and down fighter who's very skilled at what he does. He doesn't fight on the inside. And quite honestly, if you get up against the ropes on on Sergey Kovalev, or when fighters get on the ropes against Kovalev, you notice him doing something that is odd. If he gets Canelo Alvarez up against the ropes, watch for this. He's going to back up. If Canelo Alvarez goes to the ropes, Sergey Kovalev is going to take 2 steps back because Sergey Kovalev likes to punch coming forward. He likes to move forward as he's punching. And when he's in close proximity to you against the ropes, he's not allowed to do that. He's not able to do that. So what he does is he takes a step back. The opponent comes off the ropes, and then he comes forward again. When the guy gets up against the ropes again, then he takes a couple steps back. Canelo Alvarez is somebody that enjoys using the ropes. So with that type of stuff going on against the ropes, Canelo Alvarez is actually going to be able to take breaks on the ropes. As long as he's outside of the center of the ring and he gets up against the ropes, not only will he be able to slip the shots that are coming at him if Sergey Kovalev throws against the ropes, he's also going to limit Kovalev's output just by being there. It's just this really odd thing that I noticed about how Canelo what Kovalev does when he gets people up against the ropes. I think that this is a Canelo Alvarez fight. I agree with Andre Ward. This guy is, he's already been knocked out several times, dude, and it's about to be good riddance to bad rubbish for Sergey Kovalev, and he ain't getting no decision if it goes the distance. Let me know what you think in the comment section. With that, I'm out. Peace.